On your left.
Thanks for the ride, Uncle
Now,
Ben.
wait a minute, Peter. We need to talk. Anymore. You shirk your chores. You have all those weird experiments in your room. You start fights at school.
I didn't start that fight. I told you that.
Well, you sure as hell finished.
What was I supposed to do? Run away?
No, you're not supposed to run away. But Pete, look, you're changing. I know. I went through exactly the same thing at your age.
No, not exactly.
Peter, these are the years when a man changes into the man he's going to become the rest of his life. Just be careful who you change into. This guy, Flash Thompson, he probably deserved what happened. But just because you can be doesn't give you the right to. Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
Peter! Peter!
Peter!
Peter!
Assemble. I am inevitable. And I am Iron Man.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Marvelous Discussions. It's been a while since we've done a Marvel show, and I realize there's a lot of news that we need to catch up on, particularly related to Spider-Man and Daredevil. So I thought, you know what? Let's do a stream to catch up on all this stuff. And please welcome, as I bring on my co-host, Socks Bulletins right now. He has a new computer and is streaming really well, so I'm glad to have him on. And he also loves musicals. Socks Bulletins loves musicals. Let's sing a musical song for Socks. How are you, Socks?
I was fine until you started singing. Now I have a massive headache.
Oh, but come on, Socks. We know you love musicals.
Should be abolished.
Okay, well, other than that, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm glad to be back. It's been a while, so got the new computer running. No issues. Yeah. So we can get into this now.
Okay, let's do it. So just a quick reminder, the One Punch Man Cinematic Universe. So that's what 1PDCU stands for. One Punch Man comes out 2026. You got One Punch Stand and you got the Cordovan Speedster.
You ought to be careful saying about One Punch comes out. Be very careful saying that from now on in the future, sir, because that don't sound right.
What do you mean? The 1PDCU?
You said One Punch comes out.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Okay. You know what? I'm sure if I'm missing some double meaning, I'm sure someone will point it out to me on Replay Crew. So,
Hey, Sin Havoc.
What up, Sin Havoc? And then also, this person stopped by earlier. So, oh yeah, we're gonna talk about it. But I guess Socks, anything you want to say about One Punch Stand?
I'm definitely looking forward to it. From what I've seen so far, it's more amazing than what I expected. And I know Zod is putting in a lot of work. I gotta give him his credit and his respect because Zod is doing God's work, what he's doing now. Man, the man is really come up with something creative, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the final product, and I'm sure it's gonna be amazing. From what I saw of it, it's gonna be amazing.
Absolutely, I can't wait. I cannot wait. Yeah, I know, Sin Havoc, I know. But anyways. No, I'm not gonna guess what that means. I'm not gonna do that because if I'm wrong, it's just gonna be awkward. But anyways, so what happened to our Spider-Man Raimi trilogy review? So as you know, the Spider-Man Raimi trilogy came out this month/last month. And it was released. It was re-released in theaters, is what I mean, including an extended edition of Spider-Man 2, released for the first time. And while Sox and I already reviewed part 1 for Thanksgiving last year, because it's a Thanksgiving movie, the whole third act is around Thanksgiving time.
Yeah.
We were going to review the other 2 movies, and then maybe talk about our experience seeing the first one in theaters. But it didn't happen. So, Sox, why don't you tell them why it didn't happen for you, seeing it in theaters?
My computer died. It completely died and said, "No, I'm done with you. Goodbye." And I was like, "Oh God!" So I had to take what money I had saved up to get me a new computer because my other computer said, "I'm done with you. Goodbye." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, hold on now." It couldn't even be a negotiation in this situation because he's like, "No, I'm done." So I was like, "Well, fuck you too, buddy." So I had to go buy me a new one. So I bought me a new one. And I looked at the old one and said, and the new one's a lot better. So there you go. You're next.
Okay, yeah. So for me, there's 2 reasons for this. One is another financial reason for me is that I had recently booked a trip to Universal Orlando, which I'll be going the last week in February. But, that it costs a lot of money. Not as much as, and I'm staying on a resort with 3 theme parks. That's a lot of money. Now, not as much as Disney would be if I was staying on a resort at Disney World, going to all the parks. I don't even want to imagine. I'd have to sell my PlayStation, and I don't even know.
You have to sell all your Batman stuff. Yeah, that's got to go. You can get rid of all that. That can go. Get rid of it because we all know that can go. Huh? What?
I actually would have to, believe it or not. I mean, to afford a trip at Disney World, staying on resort, I'd have to sell all my cool merchandise. Absolutely.
Right.
That's how else would I pay for it? And whereas Universal's a lot more affordable compared to Disney, but still expensive enough that I'm like, maybe I cannot see some movies in theaters. And the other reason, too, is when Revenge of the Sith came out in theaters, it was a much better release. They actually had it in more theaters, and there were a lot more options. My big issue with how they re-released these films is that it wasn't in a lot of theaters, and the times were very limited. It was like one night at certain theaters at certain times. There was one theater I could have gone to after work, but I'm done at 5, and the movie started at 7:30. I'm like, I'm not staying 2.5 hours just to wait for a movie. I don't know if my Christmas stuff is really worth that much, to be honest, though.
I don't know why. I mean, what's wrong with it?
I mean, it's cool stuff. I'm not saying it's not cool stuff, but I mean, for the money needed for Disney World, it doesn't sell for. Oh no, Socks has bad computer. His new computer must not be working after all. Oh no. Oh no. So I guess we'll have to continue on the show without Socks, unless somehow maybe, and hopefully when he does come back, and hopefully it will come back on, hopefully the Christmas background will be gone by then. So it's okay. Oh, you're back and your Christmas background's gone. Good.
Damn it.
But yeah, though, it was like the re-release just wasn't that good. They needed more options. They needed more showings. They needed more times, because it's like, if you couldn't make a certain time, it was like, okay, too bad, so sad. You're not going to see it that night. Or, if and sometimes there's just a night I just don't feel like going out to the movies. It's not like when you have a variety of times, you can be more choosy. They didn't give a good variety of times, unfortunately. Not the way when they re-released Revenge of the Sith, there were so many options, so many better options. This, it was like, I don't know what they work. So I don't know. I don't know if you ever, before you bought your computer, if you were looking at tickets, I guess, did you see any of the release times by you?
I didn't even get a chance to, man. I was so caught into other things. Plus, I got all those movies on Blu-ray and all that, and I would have probably done it for Spider-Man 2, but at the same time, it's like I got the special cut, the Raimi version of it, the 5.1 or whatever the hell it's called.
2.1.
2.1,
because it's
and
Spider-Man
I got
2.
that. Right, I got that, and so I mean, I thought about it, but again, right at that time, my computer decided I'm done. So I was like, well, so much for that.
And part of being a responsible adult is that when you have expenses you need to pay for, other things have to go. That's something that, Socks and I both have to deal with. So unfortunately, some stuff had to go, and seeing movies that we've already seen in theaters was just that for both of us. So yeah, I wanted to address this though, because I know I've been advertising doing this review with Socks a lot, and we'll review the other two movies at some point. That's still going to happen. It's just not going to happen at the point that, what up, Sean Franklin, that we originally intended on. So not to beat a dead horse anymore, but that's just what happened. I wanted to address it because whenever I advertise something and I don't do it, I like to address it, because I don't like to just quietly forget about it and be like, "Ooh, hopefully no one remembers that I said this." That's not what I do. So anyway, I think we covered this enough. So now I know we're a little late to this one, but this happened a while ago and we haven't done any Marvel stuff recently. And I know him as best as Alexander Pierce from Winter Soldier. So I wanted to bring that up. Just say a quick something, sad for his loss, sad that he died, but 89 years old though. At least he made it to 89. That's a good age to go out on. As we all eventually will perish. That's an age that I would love to go out on. But I guess, Socks, anything you want to say on this?
Robert Redford, man, was one of the greatest actors in the later half of the 20th century. This dude has started his acting career in the 1960s. 1960s, before we were born, okay? He was the guy that created the Sundance Film Festival. Now, you probably don't know what the Sundance Film Festival is.
I've heard of it.
He created it in 1981. The Sundance Film Festival was basically independent filmmakers could take their small movies and take it there and show it on a bigger screen, and whoever likes it can pick it up and sell it to another studio and start a film career. That's where Kevin Smith took Clerks to Sundance Film Festival, and that's how he got over. Robert Redford, he was one of those actors, man. He could do big budget films, like $300,000 films, or very small, low budget films. He was every type of actor, man. He didn't care if it was a big time movie that brought in millions of people or a small budget film. He was one of those actors, man, that was grounded. He really wanted to act. He worked to the day that he couldn't work no more. And Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid back then is one of the greatest outlaw westerns you could ever watch. If you ever get a chance to watch it, that movie is wonderful. The whole story, including the ending, man, it's like, well, we're going out on a high note here, boys. I mean, but this man deserves his respect, okay? And nothing against any other franchise, whether it's DC, whatever. When Marvel, when Disney, when the MCU landed Robert Redford to be in the MCU, I was blown away. I was like, whoa! I thought Robert Downey Jr. was a huge deal because, he's been around since probably the 80s. But or even when you got fucking, what's his name? Michael Douglas, it started in the late 70s. That's true. That is also true. But Robert Redford being from the 60s and having such a career from the Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid to let's see, 3 Days of the I think it's 3 Days of the Condor to All the President's Men. I think he was in that one. I mean, he is such a larger than life actor, man. You see his work and what he did in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. He always had work. Like I said, he could do big budget films or small independent films. He didn't care because he was that good of an actor. You paid to see what this guy could do. He was such a phenomenal actor. So yeah, rest in peace, Robert Redford. You deserve your flowers. Man, you're an amazing actor, dude. Amazing. I'm telling you back then, watch Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Great. Or watch let's see, I mean, there's so many films, man, that he did. It would take you a couple of weeks to get through all of it because it's so much. You watch one per day. Yeah, I mean, he was an amazing actor, man. Okay.
Oh.
Huh.
And thank you, Socks. Thank you for coming on and talking about him. Because I'm not gonna lie, I don't know as much about him. I know him as Alexander Pierce from Winter Soldier. As Sin Havoc would say, homework, Bat-Dan, homework.
Yeah. Great actor, dude. Great actor. Wonderful, brilliant actor. Oh my God. The guy deserves his respect alone for creating Sundance Film Festival. I mean, if he didn't create the Sundance Film Festival, guys like Kevin Smith or Spike Lee, Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez, the list goes on and on. Probably would not have been put on the map today like they were because of the Sundance Film Festival. Kevin Smith owes a lot of his career to Robert Redford and the Sundance Film Festival because they would take independent films and put them there in these theaters, and whoever the bigger higher ups in studios would come along, or agents or producers would come by to see what was being shot. And they're always looking for new directors and creative people. They may not say that they are, but they are. And every once in a while, you get a flock of new directors that pop up once in a while. But Sundance Film Festival helped push those guys along.
Absolutely sucks. And thank you again. Thank you for coming on and talking about that because again, I don't know as much about the actor, but I think it's important to pay tribute to these actors when they pass away that have helped entertain us so much. Like if we're gonna do movie talk, it's important to mention this stuff when it happens. So absolutely, rest in peace, Robert Redford.
That's another one.
Great actor.
I'm sorry, Ben. That's another one. That's another the Natural. Watch that one. That's a great movie. Watch. Let's see what else. There's another one. It's hard because there's so many good movies. The Last Castle he did was really good. See what else. I mean, there's so many movies that this guy did. It's hard to keep up because there's so many are so good.
Absolutely. And again, lots of movies that I need to see. but just thank you, Robert Redford, for everything you've done for the movie industry. Even if people don't know as well, it's still a significant, like me, who has again, I'm just bad at catching up on certain older movies. That's just always been an issue with me. So, but even still, even if I don't like, it's still great because you brought so much entertainment to so many great people. So
that's another
thank
good
you,
one.
Rob.
That's that movie there. Oh wow! I saw that and I was like, I was surprised he got away with it. Because you want me to tell you the story about that situation, or you want to watch it yourself?
You know what? I want to watch this movie myself for the first time.
It's a moral debate between a man and a wife and a very rich man.
Okay.
I'll just leave it like that.
Okay. Well, Robert Redford, thank you for everything you've done. Rest in peace. And I'm going to put a lot of your movies on my homework list. Because, again, I should learn more about some of these great actors, these great older actors. So, absolutely, Robert Redford, rest in peace. And thank you again, Sox, for your knowledge on him. I really appreciate it. And now on to a lighter note. Daredevil Born Again. New. Hold on. Let me just fix something here. Daredevil Born Again Season 2 news. Foggy Nelson and Jessica Jones return. Now, I'm surprised we didn't cover Jessica Jones on our last Marvel news show. Because the news came out. I don't know why we never... Well, drive safely.
No, careful.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why we didn't cover this news, though, when it happened. But we're going to cover it now. So, Jessica Jones and Foggy Nelson return to Daredevil Born Again Season 2. So, we'll start with you, Sox. What's your thoughts on this?
Well, the whole thing with Foggy, okay. Now we know from last season, Foggy was supposedly shot and died and so on, and they wrote him off. And he's confirmed to come back for season 2. But here's the conflict. Even I'm kind of confused on this one. Is he coming back as a flashback for a couple episodes or whatever? Or are they going to come back as Fate to Death? Now, the reason why I say Fate to Death, I got a friend of mine that's a huge Daredevil fan. He knows more about Daredevil than I'll ever know. And he told me there's a story in the Daredevil series that came out some years ago where Daredevil did fake his death. And everyone thought he was dead. And later on, he comes back. So I'm wondering if they're borrowing bits and pieces from that story, from that comic, to integrate into the new season of the show. Because that's basically what it seems like what they're doing to me. And if they're doing that, cool, great, because I would like to see Foggy come back. I've always liked Foggy. Now, as for Jessica Jones, I had a feeling we knew Kristen Ritter was coming back because our late great friend Mikey Sutton told us they're going to all come back. Kristen Ritter's going to come back. Michael, what's his name? The guy who plays Luke Cage is going to come back.
Colton
Michael. I can't remember his last name. And yeah, and they just announced the lady that plays. Yeah, thank you. They also announced that the lady who played Elektra is also coming back. That is confirmed. Yeah, that is true. And also, and I was surprised that the guy Finn Jones wants to come back as Iron Fist.
Well, I think he originally wasn't going to come back until they decided that it was going to be canon to the Netflix shows. Because I think originally what was happening is that they were doing a reboot and bringing back some of the actors playing variants. So they weren't going to they were going to cast someone else as Danny Rand. But now that it's connected to the Netflix series, now they are like, okay, we got to bring back Finn Jones. Because even Mikey Sutton changed his scoop, remember?
Right.
He was saying everyone but Finn Jones is coming back.
Right.
And then once it became canon. Now, at first, Mikey Sutton was saying, oh, they'll just recast him still.
Right.
But then after that, it was kind of being reported by him. And it's like, oh, maybe Finn Jones will be coming back after all, which honestly, I'm fine with. I mean, a lot of people gave him a hard time, but his issue was bad writing, not bad not bad acting. Bad writing and directing, but not bad acting. Like, I think his episode in Luke Cage season 2 was I think that was his best performance as Danny Rand. And so I would rather kind of keep that continuity and just give him a better writer and actor than or better writer and director.
I just wonder if the ladies, Iron Fist's girlfriend, I forget her name right now, is going to come back.
Colleen Wing.
That's her.
Jessica Henwick is the actress.
Right. So I'm wondering if she's going to come back. Because Mikey said, yeah, she's coming. Because she was supposed to play. They offered her a role to play Shang-Chi's sister in the Shang-Chi movie, but she turned that movie down because she wanted to come back as Colleen Wing for Iron Fist later on. And that's why she turned. I remember Mikey talked about that for sure. So.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Right. So I'm waiting. I hope she comes back because. Yes, and thank you. Because she was I liked her character. I liked her and Misty. I'm glad they're all coming back, man. I really am.
And that's interesting because I do know that is actually a good point. I know I was kind of defending Finn Jones, but that's actually a good point. I heard he wasn't really doing his homework with the fighting, but now he is doing his homework. Interesting.
Yeah, good.
So
good.
That's good. And as for me, I personally think here's my theory with Foggy Nelson. There's, like you said, two things: flashback and he faked his death. I think it's going to be both of those things. I think what's going to happen, he's going to return as in flashback form for the first few episodes, and then eventually it's going to reveal that he is actually alive and faked his death. And the reason why I think they're going to do it like that is because here's the thing: unfortunately, with nowadays, with people taking photos of actors on set, it's hard to keep things secret. This actor's on set, but if you bring him back to life, it's like, oh, we kind of knew that he's on set. But if you start with a flashback, people aren't going to think anything of it. They'll just think, oh, yeah, he had flashback, more flashback stuff. So bringing someone back in the present day, you can hide that a lot easier. So that's what I think is going to happen, because I still think that the reason why Foggy was dead in Daredevil season 1 is because, from my understanding, before this was canon to the Netflix stuff and that original actors who played Foggy and Karen were coming back, Foggy was going to be mentioned as dead. I think I heard some rumor that you saw Daredevil upset, but then when they made it canon, they made season 1 or the Netflix stuff canon, and they brought Foggy and Karen back. There's this problem. They already filmed. You have all these 6 episodes that were already filmed. So what do? Do you just awkwardly insert them every scene or so often, just to take out all references of Foggy dying? It would be a lot of effort. So that's why you put them. You keep Foggy's death intact, and you have Karen go away for a little bit, so that you don't have to awkwardly put them in there as often. So that's why I think that was a product of their lack of screen time and why Foggy was still dead, because they wanted to keep use as much of the footage that they already shot as possible. So Foggy still had to be dead, even if he's really just dead.
That makes sense. I mean, I know. I remember when they were starting to film this show, or was it 2 years now, where Foggy fired those people that were working on Born Again, because they were the She-Hulk writers, and he saw what they did, and he's like, gotta get rid of these people quick, they're gonna ruin it. So they cut the first episode, which is a banger. The other episodes were like, But by the time you get to the last 2 episodes, those people, the ones that worked on Punisher, and the showrunners of Punisher and the writers of Punisher, they came in and filled in the gaps in the last 2 episodes. And that's why it's kind of like Frankenstein kind of stuff, all kind of like weird in the first few episodes. But Foggy did clean house. That is true. That is very true.
I thought the first episode was actually also done by the new writers. Like, the second episode was originally the first episode, but then with the retooling, they added that first episode as well. I thought that's what it was.
That might have been, but if you notice, the first episode's like really good, right? Because that's when Bullseye kills Foggy, and there's a big fight scene between Daredevil and Bullseye, and he throws him off the roof. That was from the Punisher crew that did that. It was from episodes 2 and so on. that everything was like, oh, what is going on here? It wasn't absolutely horrible, but you can see the difference in the tone and the writing because of those
Yeah.
She-Hulk writers. And that's why Foggy said, you all got to go. You're out of here. Go away and take your crap with you.
And we will review season 1, guys. Unfortunately, I know we set it up for season 1, but then I was in the middle of moving to my condo, so... But we will review that. I'm thinking we'll review season 1 closer when season 2 comes out, back when Daredevil is more relevant again. But absolutely, though. So it makes sense why it was done the way it was. And I think as for Jessica Jones, I'm really excited to see her, Kristen Ritter, come back. Because I recently just rewatched Jessica Jones. Around when I actually moved into my condo, I rewatched the whole series just kind of for fun. And it was so good. I forgot how good that series was. It was a really great series, and I loved Kristen Ritter's attitude and like her attitude for Jessica Jones. And she seems to really love the character. I saw in an interview saying how easy it was for her to come back. And you know what's funny, Socks? You said that Mikey Sutton was predicting this for a while. Kristen Ritter, I think from what I remember, she said she knew for about 2 years and couldn't say anything.
Right. They all did because, and that's why whenever I hear somebody online say, well, this person's coming back, I'm thinking in the back of my mind, we already knew that here in the Mikeyverse. Mikey told us all this a couple years ago. You're all late to the party. We've been sitting on this news for the longest time. You're all catching up to us now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, Socks. Exactly. You know, even after 2 years after he's gone, Mikey Sutton's still being confirmed.
Right. Yeah.
She had to wait for contract. Because wasn't she... Are you talking about that other show she was in, or was it the contract with Netflix?
I know she was on another show for a while, like...
Oh, the original TV writer.
Right. Just like Michael, the guy who plays Luke Cage, he was on a TV show called Evil. But that just got canceled about a year ago, I think it was, after a couple seasons. And he'll be back as Luke Cage. He just signed on to be on another show coming out later, I think, this year. But he'll be back as Luke Cage. I hope what they do is I hope they give Luke Cage and Finn Jones their own show together called Heroes for Hire. Like in the comics.
Oh, that would be so cool. And hold on, Sin Havoc. Hold on. Keep talking. I have to save a photo. I'm going to show a photo that Sin Havoc sent me. Keep talking.
Well, that was what Mikey was talking about. He said that they wanted to create Heroes for Hire instead of having Luke Cage have his own separate show and Iron Fist have his own separate show. Those two would have their a combined show along with Colleen Wing and probably Misty Knight. I don't know if Roseanne Dawson is going to come back as a nurse, the Claire. I don't know if she's coming back or not. I haven't heard any details about that. But Heroes for Hire might be inspiring a brand new day. Really? Jesus Christ, that movie's going to make a lot of money. Good Lord.
Oh, wow. Okay, keep talking still. Apparently it didn't save the way it was supposed to.
Hey, all right. I got a question for you, Sin Havoc. Is Daredevil going to be in Brand New Day? There's a rumor he is, and some people say no, he's not, but I'm wondering if he is. I hope he is. I like to see Daredevil and Spider-Man, do something more than they did in, No Way Home, which I like. I love No Way Home, and it's a great movie. But I would like to see him come back. And they need to have a way to get them back together. I know contrast between Sony and Disney and how that works. I get it. Sony is weird on certain things. I understand it. But still, I'd love to see Spider-Man and Daredevil tangle up a little bit. Yeah, really? Oh, my God. Can you imagine a Daredevil versus Spider-Man fight? That would be amazing.
Well, that's going to be another topic coming up very soon. I do apologize. Sin Havoc. When I get sent stuff midstream, I have to find some way to incorporate it. And then when stuff doesn't save right, unfortunately, okay, I honestly think my computer is just trolling me at this point. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to share the screen. I'm not going to deal with trying to... So this is what we have, and I'm sorry it's shared like this. I wanted to share it much nicer, but this is
just fine.
Yeah, the Daredevil suit, the Daredevil suit right here. So
he's got the D's on his chest too, where they're supposed to be. That's good.
Yeah, so very awesome. So thank you, Sin Havoc, for sending that. Thank you for sending that. So wrong.
Okay.
So we are. So I don't get too far into this yet because this is actually spoiler alert. This will be another topic coming up very soon. But in terms of Foggy and Jessica Jones, it'll be really great, and I'm excited for Daredevil Born Again Season 2. I think it'll be better than Season 1 simply for the fact that it won't have any of the old stuff that they have to incorporate. So
and they won't have none of those goofy ass She-Hulk writers either.
Yep, absolutely. And
I'm glad that they're gone because when I heard that they came on board, I started to cry. Like, oh no, man! Thank you, Foggy. Thank you, Foggy.
So apparently, though, Spider-Man Brand New Day and Daredevil Born Again Season 2 are connected. So
yeah.
So basically, just show this again real quick. So I'm just going to pull up this article. So basically, Daredevil Born Again will connect to Spider-Man Brand New Day. So this is really interesting for diehard Marvel fans. So this is the part. So I want to get to the quote. I'm not going to go over this whole article. But it says, it very much exists in the same world as Brand New Day. Or this is said by Marvel TV head Brad Winderbaum. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong.
He runs the TV division. He took over after the whole thing with fucking, what's his name? Bo DeMaio and his scandal got him ousted altogether. But we won't talk about that guy.
But anyway, it says there's a lot of communication between the two teams to tie the show and the film together without spoiling anything. He says, Born Again very much exists in the same world as Brand New Day, and it's important. We're in a shared universe together. Daredevil and Punisher comic books depict a certain tone and idea in New York in a very different way than Spider-Man's. But they're in the same universe, and everything lines up, and the impacts are felt. But we're able to tell different stories. So we'll get into more about Charlie Cox appearing in the next topic, but yeah, I think it's very important because, if you know how Daredevil's Born Again Season 1 ended, which it's been out for a while, so spoilers, but Kingpin is mayor, Wilson Fisk is mayor, and he's running New York as it's like hell in New York right now, basically, and, Spider-Man takes place in New York, so how do you can't ignore that. It's not, it'd be like, having half the world disintegrate and then having a show come out acting like none of it happened and that we're just supposed to be okay with it. You'd have to be a pretty bad showrunner, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 6 and 7, to do something like that. But
the funny thing is, and I had heard about this a while back, and I had to go back and rewatch it again just for the hell of it. The last episode of Daredevil of Born Again, they played the Spider-Man theme song in that episode.
Really?
Yeah. And I
thought they didn't have the rights to that.
It was weird. And I couldn't understand why. And it got, online, people started talking. There's a connection here that no one's seen between Daredevil and Spider-Man. And they put that song in there. It was a song from the movie that's in one of the final scene, the scene where Daredevil is by the docks, I think it was. I remember. Yeah, see, even Sin Habit said it. So there is a connection here that they're building upon. And everyone online went crazy for several months ago about that. Like, wait a minute, that's Spider-Man's thing. So why is that in Daredevil?
Okay, interesting. So. But it's good that there is a connection because people forget Kingpin is primarily a Spider-Man villain, not a Daredevil villain. He is a Daredevil villain, but primarily he's a Spider-Man villain. So it makes sense that you would have that connection.
But
Because-
also, don't forget,
Go on.
X-Men is going to be X-Men is going to be connected as well.
Oh, damn.
But don't forget what Mike, a previous tweet years ago, Kingpin came out, Vincent D'Onofrio came out and said he wants to squash a spider, and he would not come back. And what did Mikey say? He said what he said, and Vincent D'Onofrio said, "I wouldn't trust this." Every time Mikey would say, "I wouldn't trust this," in that tone, I would fall out laughing because I knew Vincent D'Onofrio would come back, and it would make me laugh so hard every time. I wouldn't trust this. I miss you, Mikey.
Yeah, we all do. And with this, though, it's really, I do like that there is some connection. And we'll see how much it is connected. Will it be just a reference? Will it be a bigger connection? I mean, because it's funny, because Vincent D'Onofrio's excuse for not being in the movies is that basically Marvel has the rights for him for TV series, while Sony has the rights for him for a movie, because he's both a Spider-Man villain and a Daredevil villain. But okay, we'll revisit this comment later, because this is actually another topic in this stream. But we got to remember, the main movies that we want to see Kingpin in are the Spider-Man movies, which would be distributed by Sony. So technically speaking, there's no reason for him not to be in the movie. So I absolutely think that we're going to see Kingpin in a Spider-Man movie. I don't think he'll be the main bad guy in this next movie, but I think Daredevil Born Again will definitely set up for another movie in the Spider-Man college trilogy. Because remember, Mikey Sutton said college trilogy. So,
originally, I remember Mikey said years ago, originally Foggy wanted to do 9 Spider-Man movies. 9.
Oh, wow.
And there would have been high school, college, and then as he goes out to, as a working career type thing. Okay. Mikey did mention this before 2019, around 2019, before 2020, before the COVID situation hit. Mikey mentioned Disney was going to look into buying Sony. So Mikey did talk about that. Now, I know I don't want Disney buying Warner Brothers. I wouldn't mind Disney buying Sony. Now, here's the thing back then. I remember this one for sure. Whatever studio, no matter if it's Netflix, Amazon, Warner Brothers, Universal, whatever, any studio that buys Sony rights, all movie rights of Spider-Man, the entire franchise of Spider-Man, go back automatically to Disney.
Yes.
Mikey talked about that. That is a fact. So whatever studio buys it, Spider-Man goes back. So even if Disney buys it, that's still a good thing. So either way,
Disney doesn't buy
back to Disney, and I love it. He's right.
That's actually why I don't want Disney to buy Sony, because I think Disney owns so much already.
Right.
And since they can get Spider-Man back anyways, I'd rather another studio buy it. I don't want Disney to become more powerful than they already are. But I would still definitely like to see this, because I think we could do a better, because right now they have to keep the connections in Daredevil Born Again vague, because that's why Wilson Fisk says like a man dressed like a spider or something like that. He doesn't say Spider-Man. He makes them very, like, obviously we know he's talking about Spider-Man, but he doesn't say it because of the copyright issue. So I definitely think, though, if something is happening, the thing is the writers, they probably know about it. So they're setting up their storylines in advance to connect. So I think this is very interesting. But despite this, though, Sox, I guess, do you have any other final thoughts about this being connected to Born Again before we move on?
The only thing I can think of is that Disney buying Sony would help with video games. Yeah, that is true. But the only thing I can help is say Spider-Man 7, we get Kingpin in there, which would bring Daredevil back. And Kingpin could be the main villain for Spider-Man 7. That would bring in probably Black Cat, because Black Cat or possibly even other characters. But they would definitely bring in Black Cat, which we need to see Felicia Hardy. We need to see Kingpin. And, of course, we will see Daredevil. Now, Would they do the Sin Eater storyline? And if you're trying to wonder what are you talking about? The Sin Eater storyline. Sin Eater was a criminal that killed Officer Jean D. Wolf in the comics, and he blew her away with a shotgun. Daredevil was good friends with Jean D. Wolf, so was Spider-Man. Daredevil wanted to bring Sin Eater to justice, as he's supposed to. Spider-Man went ballistic and punched Daredevil to get after Sin Eater. Daredevil said, "You gotta go through me, Spider-Man, to get to him." And Spider-Man knocked him right out the window. And I told him, "I told you to stay out of my way." So there was a physical fight between Daredevil and Spider-Man. Now, yeah. All right. That's my nerd way of coming out of me again. Like you with Superman and Batman, that's me, Daredevil, and Spider-Man.
And there's a reason why, guys, I have Sox Bulletins as my co-host for the Marvel show. But so we always love your Marvel knowledge. But despite about this connection,
Doom has got the symbiote. That's another thing Mikey said. Mikey did say that when the symbiote gets on Tom Holland, Tom Holland Spider-Man, which will become Venom for a little while, is gonna fight both Andrew Garfield Spider-Man and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man at the same time.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Tobey is going to die, which brings in Mayday Parker, Spider-Girl, which is Tobey Maguire Spider-Man's daughter.
Yeah, so that will be very interesting to see how all that plays out. Yep. And I will say, Mikey was right.
Yep.
But as for this connection, Daredevil, though, is not in Brand New Day. According to Charlie Cox, he's like, oh, yeah, I'm not in it. I mean, I have the article linked, but he's basically saying, oh, I've heard rumors. They probably think I'm in it. I'm not. I'm just going to say, oh, what up, the Curly Ray? I'm just going to say Andrew Garfield. Okay, Andrew Garfield said he wasn't in No Way Home. So I don't really believe actors anymore when they say they're not in it. I mean, maybe he's not in it. Maybe he's not. But odds are, if he's in it, it's going to be a surprise cameo they don't want spoiled. So I don't think he'll have a big role in Brand New Day, but I think Daredevil's going to be in it. I think it'll be a cameo, but I think it's a cameo that they're trying to keep on the hush-hush. So I don't know, Sox, what's your thoughts?
But wait a minute, man. But don't you think that the new Supergirl movie coming out next year is going to make more money than the brand new Spider-Man movie coming out next year?
No. No. Not at all. No. But anyway, Sox, what's your thoughts on Charlie Cox's comment? Do you agree? Do you think that he'll be in it? Or
he's saying that just to say, man, he's got to keep the hype up. Like Andrew Garfield, I'm not going to be in that movie. I don't know what they're talking about. I'm not going to be in that. It's fine. I mean, look even when the trailers came out for No Way Home last year, Kevin Feige literally even had both Andrew and Tobey digitally removed from the trailer. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, when the villains were punching air or like air was kicking one of the villains, it was so obvious that something was supposed to be there and wasn't.
Exactly. But that's the genius of Foggy. Oh, well, Foggy don't know what he's doing anymore. Fuck you, asshole. Foggy knows exactly what he's doing, okay? So I'm going to hear that crap. So, I mean, and look what the money brought in. Over $1 billion for that movie. And it was a great movie, by the way, so thank you. So I have no problem with this whatsoever. He's probably saying that just to save face, man. Just like Andrew did the same thing.
Yes, I agree. So I think he's either... Oh, okay.
Man, if he's going to get a hold of what I think he's going to get a hold of, oh, boy.
But yeah, Charlie Cox is definitely in this movie. He's definitely, I mean, my opinion, again, I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong, but I think he'll a cameo or a third act role. But we know that Kingpin has to be in this movie, in the Spider-Man movies eventually, and you got to have Daredevil in there. And Mikey Sutton even scooped that Kingpin and Daredevil would be in the Spider-Man movies at some point. So
I wouldn't trust this.
So, well, I mean, from what Sin Havoc has said in the past, he thinks, Apple, Disney, and Sony, he thinks are going to be all together, smush. So, like, Apple will probably buy both Disney and Sony, or Disney will buy Sony and then Apple will buy Disney. Something will happen that all three are together, according to Sin Havoc, for some merger/acquisition, which are not the same thing. I better not say they're the same thing, because Sin Havoc will get all upset. Even though, let's be honest, they basically are the same thing, other than semantics.
All I'm saying is whoever buys Sony Spider-Man film rights automatically go back to Disney permanently. So I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Ma Pa Kettle that buy fucking Sony, as long as the Spider-Man rights go back to Disney where they belong. I've had enough of this crap.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. I totally understand. So, but just put a little inside joke for Socks in the private chat.
Do you want me to read about the Christmas tree background again, sir?
No. But anyway, let's move on now. So, Tom Holland, injury and recovery. So, as we know, Tom Holland, he got a concussion and now he's back to filming. I guess, Socks, what's your thoughts on this?
Scary, man. Because as soon as I heard he fell and may have hurt his head, I thought, okay, it opened, and what's the extent of the injury? Thank God it wasn't that bad. I know he's a gymnast. I know he likes to do his own stunts, but studios are very weird about actors doing their own stunts, man. They don't like, because they have to pay out on insurance claims, and they don't like doing that. That's why Jackie Chan, for a long time, couldn't make movies in America, because they saw what Jackie Chan was doing, like, because it's too risky. So I guarantee you, when he was in the hospital, or he had the PR people on his ass, or the studio on his ass, and the insurance agents on his ass, they're probably like telling him, hey man, slow down, because we're having to pay for this. Now you slow it down, or we're gonna have a problem here. So yeah.
And especially because the thing was, like, actors doing their own stunts. Like, if a stunt double gets injured and can't return, they can still do a lot of filming. I mean, they could even probably get a new stunt double. I don't know how that all works exactly, but you can't replace the lead, though. Not in a franchise like this. So it makes sense why they're weary.
Look at Jackie Chan. If you ever watched Jackie Chan films, he does all his own stunts. Now, he's the exception to the rule, but look at all the times he got hurt. Broken ankle, he cracked his head open in one film. He got electrocuted in another film. He broke his ankle while filming, I can't remember the name of the movie. I mean, yeah, he does all his own stunts, but he pays the price for that. And studios in America, the insurance companies here, they don't like that sort of thing, man, because they know they got to pay a lot of money. Now, in Asia, where he does his films, they're a little bit more different there. In America, it's like, what? You want to do what? So you take you don't want an insurance company coming at you if you're a big time star saying, well, I want to jump from so and so onto so and so, and hopefully I don't break nothing. And then the studio's like, we have 8 different stunt guys to do this. Well, I can do it. And the insurance company are like sweating bullets. And so I'm wondering why Tom Cruise got away with a lot of stuff that he did when he was filming those Mission Impossible movies.
I think of that one scene where they show the video of, like, what happens in the movie and the actual filming back by back with the plane, when he's actually hanging from the plane, when he's grabbing onto the plane. And the stunt, you see there's a harness, but I'm like, you're outside the plane still. That is scary as, like, oh my God, I would, like, like, no, you could not pay me to do that. No. I jumped out of an airplane and I wouldn't even do something like that.
Right. But again, sometimes a lot of actors think they can become stuntmen. And then they realize they can't. Because sometimes bad things happen. And I don't wish death on anybody, but they had a case some years ago of The Walking Dead where they were filming a stunt scene. And the guy fell 25 feet to his death, landing on his head. And he died.
Damn.
And they had to reshoot a different type of scene for that episode. I remember the episode. I forget the name of the actors that passed away, but again, stunt acting is hard work, man. I mean, especially if you do any type of stunt scene. So Tom Holland, he got off pretty light. I hope he woke up. I hope he realized, hey, man, maybe I shouldn't be doing all these goofy stunts and putting myself at risk, and then putting the studio at risk, and then putting the insurance companies at risk. So you got to take a lot of that into account, man.
Okay,
Good
but something
Lord.
like that was cinematic. But yeah, I agree, because there's also the actors too, the supporting cast, and some of the actors who maybe don't make as much money, so it's a loss like that hurts them a lot more. And especially with Spider-Man, he wears a mask. It's not like it's not like he actually. It's a lot easier for a stunt double in that movie. Like, he doesn't have to necessarily look like Tom Holland. He literally just has to be the same height and a similar build to Tom Holland,
Right.
and you don't notice a difference. In fact, I think it's Avengers Doomsday, I think, where Tom Holland's just going to voice Spider-Man. He's not even going to actually be in it. They're just going to Mandalorian Season 3 him in the movie.
Okay. No. You could always do like what they did in Spaceballs, where they arrested the stunt doubles, and you find out a girl was actually a dude.
Oh, I remember that
them.
scene.
These aren't them. These are their stunt doubles.
Oh, that was I love that. That was.
You want to know something funny?
Too.
You want to know something real funny about the whole stunt double thing?
Oh, sure.
In what was that movie? Let's see, what was that? In Black Widow, the girl that played Taskmaster, right? They found out later on there was a stunt double in that outfit. That wasn't actual real woman. A lot of people a lot of people that watched that show got enraged knowing that it was a dude in that costume pretending to be a woman, because they were upset that it wasn't an actual woman that was actually doing the stunts. And I'm like, that's Hollywood. They're going to have stunt doubles. They got mad because it was a stunt double, a dude.
Well, honestly, with Spider-Man, I wouldn't be surprised if they had especially since he wears a mask, I wouldn't be surprised if they had a female stunt double, because Tom Holland's pretty short for a dude. They might have an easier, they might have a harder time finding someone of Tom Holland's height who's a man than they would a woman. I mean, I know there's tall women and there's short men in the world, but I'm just saying there's less short men than there are short women. So sure. I think it's very possible. Like, my point is, I could see them doing that, because again, Tom Holland wears a mask the whole time. It's not like you see his face. I mean, it's just like, again, with Doomsday, he might not even be in the movie at all because he's wearing a mask the whole time. So they'll just have some stunt double, and then Tom Holland will record his lines. Like, same thing with the actor who played Sandman in No Way Home. He wasn't in the movie at all. He recorded lines the whole time. That's why it's Sand. The only time he's in the movie itself is repurposed footage from Spider-Man 3. Like, when he turns back to normal and you see him, that was repurposed from Spider-Man 3. Everything else is him talking. It's his voice.
I did not know that. Okay, that's one that I didn't know about.
I mean, if you watch this,
I've been schooled by a DC fan. What's going on here? How's that even possible? How the hell did I get schooled by a DC fan?
Hey, I mean, the one Marvel character I love is Spider-Man. Like, if there's any Marvel character that I really like, it's Spider-Man. So,
Which one? Peter Parker, Miles Morales, or Miguel O'Hara, or Ben
Peter
Riley?
Parker, the main Spider-Man.
Agreed. I like Peter. I like Miguel. I like Ben. As for the other one, go away. And you know who I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm not a Miles Morales fan, people. I'm sorry, I'm not. And I have my reasons why I don't like that character. But that's just me.
Exactly. We can be fans of stuff and not fans of other stuff, but yeah, I just hope that again, Tom Holland, just take it easy.
Yeah.
And now I want to bring this up. Sadie Sink. So she's from Stranger Things, I think. She plays Max on Stranger Things from
Right.
Okay, yeah, I was right. I couldn't remember because I've seen Stranger Things. I'm just bad at. Okay, interesting. But she has a role in the movie, and it hasn't been announced who she's playing yet. So that's a really interesting one.
I saw. I'm sorry, Bente. Go ahead.
Go on.
I saw something with Sadie. Well, I saw something with Sadie Sink the other day, and she's wearing a certain type of outfit, and people are speculating that she is Punisher's partner. And I got the series that character popped in. I think the character's name is Rachel Cole. I think that's her name. If I remember correctly. I gotta double check again. But she wasn't around that long. She's only she's only popped up for like a little bit in this series. I think that's her name, Rachel Cole, in this series. But again, she wasn't around that long. It's not like she's been around for 10, 15 years or anything like that. So I don't know if that's a legitimate thing or not, but
okay, I just want to show this.
Go ahead.
I just want to show this real quick. I was trying to save the photo on the video assets, not the picture assets. That's why I couldn't see it. So I just wanted to show the photo off the way I meant to real quick. But anyway, finish what you were saying.
Well, I was just saying that I think the character that she's playing is this one Punisher partner that he has. But Punisher's had several different partners over his career in comics, man. There's been different characters that popped up from time to time. I'd be more interested in seeing the return of Microchip. I don't think that's going to happen. But I think that's basically. I think they got the idea of her character out this other one name. I think her name is Rachel Cole, if I remember correctly. I had to double check that again. I think that's who it is. That's what they're speculating to be anyway.
I'll just bring this back up. And to answer the curly raised question, no, I did not get a new mic. Do I sound funny?
No more than usual.
I'll let that one go. I won't ban you. But as for me, again, I don't have the Marvel knowledge that Sox does. At first, I thought it would be Felicia Hardy, but Felicia Hardy's a blonde, right?
Yeah. She's a blonde and a very curvy one at that.
Okay,
I'm not going to go any further than that.
Okay, that's probably a good idea. Don't want to get this channel banned after all, but I could totally see her being some sidekick of the Punisher because.
See, I was right. Didn't have it confirmed it.
I don't really have any speculation because I don't have the Marvel knowledge that Sox does, but she, she's like a great actress from Stranger Things, so I'm sure whatever she's playing, she'll do well in. So we'll see. I don't have the speculation that Sox does. So, but now let's move on to one part of the movie I'm not really happy with. Mark Ruffalo, the Hulk. I'm going to be honest. When I saw this news that here's a set photo of him in the movie. Let me just take this down real quick. So, and then I have the link to the set photos I shared. I have a link in the description to both the article and the guy's profile to give him credit. So I always like to give credit to my sources, and let me just take this down. Oh, no, didn't want to take this one down. Sorry, guys. I meant to take this down, Okay. That would be interesting.
Yeah, right. I could see her as either one, both May Parker or Jean Grey. Okay. If they do Jean Grey, that sets up for the X-Men. If they do May Parker, oh wow, okay. That's Peter's daughter. That's Mayday Parker. That's Spider-Girl. Oh boy. Okay.
Either would be interesting. I could see either working but what doesn't work for me is Hulk in this movie, unless it's like a post-credit scene for setup. Because I'm gonna be honest, Sox, I do not care for Mark Ruffalo as Hulk. I liked him in the first Avengers movie. He was okay in Age of Ultron, and in Infinity War and Endgame. I'll put it like this: I was fine with it for like a series finale of the MCU, but I wasn't really a big fan of like Smart Hulk for if you want to continue on with that character. I just don't think you need this character in the movie, because I'm not a fan of this actor and character together. But also, Hulk is strong. Hulk is really strong. Hulk smash. Hulk strong, stronger than Spider-Man. How it's hard for me to believe that this guy can be a supporting character in a Spider-Man movie. In a Thor movie, I can understand, but Spider-Man, I don't know. I don't know. What's your thoughts on this? Do you agree? Do you disagree?
Well, I know he's supposed to come against Savage Hulk, so obviously, his persona is gonna switch over from Professor Hulk to Savage Hulk. Professor Hulk worked great in the comics. Obviously, did not work that good on camera. Not everything works good on live action. That's reality, people. It's just how it is sometimes. Personally, just between you and me, I think Hulk should be recasted. I don't like Mark Ruffalo. I don't like that man at all. I feel about Mark Ruffalo the same way I feel about Seth Rogen. Same way I feel about Alien Page. Certain people in Hollywood bother me to the point where if I didn't ever see their work ever again, I'd be happy with it. Because Mark Ruffalo, to me, is not a good guy. He's not a good guy whatsoever. I would love to get Edward Norton back as Hulk. I really would. I loved the Incredible Hulk movie. I thought it was wonderful. Sadly, Edward Norton is a hard actor to work with, from what a lot of people say in Hollywood. Okay? That might be true. But look at Mark Ruffalo. That guy, I want to turn this into a political thing, and I won't, because we don't talk politics on this channel. I'm happy about that. But the less he says, the better, in my opinion. He should just promote the movies he's in, the TV shows he's in. That's it. Don't talk about nothing else, because he puts his foot in his mouth way too many times.
You know what? And I'll agree with that. And I'll go as far as saying, if Mark Ruffalo had the exact opposite stance of what he posted, I would still agree with what you just said. Because I feel like, especially when you have a movie coming out, yes, freedom of speech, but not freedom from consequences. And when you get into certain politics, all you're going to do is alienate half your audience, and it could turn them off your movies. So I do think some of these actors need to be more careful. And that's what I'll say, regardless of which side you lean on. But sorry, Sox.
Yeah, I kind of figured it was going to happen. It is what it is. There's certain people. I mean, we know how Hollywood actors are. We read enough posts. We see certain things they say online, whatever, and we had to pick and choose who we watch and who we don't want to see, who we support, who we don't want to support. I get it. We all have that in us. It's like, do I really want to see this movie? But I got to deal with this guy or this girl. It is what it is, But Mark Ruffalo. I mean, I got a friend of mine that's a diehard Hulk fan. But he won't watch anything else with the Hulk anymore because he hates Ruffalo that much more than I do. I dislike Ruffalo, but he really goes off on this guy, man. He's like, this guy is a. This is why I miss old school Hollywood sometimes, because old school Hollywood, they had PR people, and the PR and the main person of the studio told the PR people to tell the actors, promote the movie, promote the show, don't talk politics, don't talk religion, promote the movie, the show, shut up. I miss that. I really miss that. What happened to that? What happened to the PR people?
Yeah.
The head studios to tell the PR people, to tell the actors, this is what you do. That's it. Nothing else. Because you're alienating so many people that want to support a movie, which takes away money from a studio that pays your salary.
Yeah, I agree. And so unfortunately that just is what it is. But so what up, Skywalker? Thanks for stopping by. And I cannot wait for your stream tonight, which is in about 20 minutes, Sky. So after this stream, check out Skywalker's stream. Because it's a topic that's...
Supposedly Hulk killed Peter Parker's parents?
That would be really interesting. And Sin Havoc, I have to just clarify. Do you mean Mark Ruffalo in real life or Bruce Banner? My God, I can't believe I blanked on his name in the movie. So, and Abomination returns as well. Interesting. Let's just disregard She-Hulk, though. Let's just disregard She-Hulk.
Yes, agreed.
But
yeah, agreed.
I mean, I will say this, regardless about our feelings for Mark Ruffalo, if Savage Hulk is in this, and I mean, again, if they can pull this off well, it could work. I'm just saying, I'm just nervous about this. That's all I'm saying. We could both see Brand New Day and we could be like, oh my God, we love this. We love this. Because here's the thing. I can't speak for other people, but I think Sox and I can agree on this. If we see a movie and we like it, even if we hate the actor, if he or she does a good job, we will still praise it. I know other people may not do that. Not us. So I think that if Hulk is in, if they find a way to pull this off, then in a way that's good, we'll see. I just feel like Spider-Man, I think, just needs some street level villains. I think that's or street level, because that's what he is. He's a street level hero. Yeah, he has some superpowers, but Hulk is too up there. Like teaming with Punisher and Daredevil, I feel like that works, but I feel like for Hulk, I just don't think you need it. So, but I also feel like this is a product of the fact that Disney does not own the rights to solo Hulk movies, so they're trying to put all their Hulk storylines in whatever other movies they can. So,
see, now that's funny you should say that, Sin Havoc. I was just thinking that because Nerdrotic, I don't really follow Nerdrotic, but his thing popped up on my YouTube stream yesterday. I didn't even click on to watch it, but this guy named Nerdrotic, and I don't really follow Nerdrotic. He said that She-Hulk and Captain Marvel will not be in Avengers Doomsday. Not that I actually really care because I can't stand either character, but we'll see what happens there. But hopefully they needed, I do hope they do recast She-Hulk because that actress is worse than Mark Ruffalo. I don't like her. She publicly came out and tried to boycott Disney during that whole thing a couple weeks ago about the whole situation that was going on. She came out and ran her mouth about her boss. And the last person who ran her mouth about her boss was Victoria Alonso. What happened to Victoria Alonso there back then when she ran her mouth about Bob Iger?
Oh, I don't know. I don't follow.
She got fired. Well, Victoria Alonso was an executive producer for MCU, and she ran her mouth. And when Iger was not in power and Bob Chapek wasn't still in power, and when Bob Iger got his spot back, he fired her ass.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, freedom of speech, not freedom from consequences. If you believe that your cause is right, fine. But you deal with the consequences, good or bad, whatever comes from that. That's always my stance on that stuff. But yeah, with Mark Ruffalo, I'm very just kind of with this. You know, I love Punisher being in this movie, but I'm not really a fan of this. I could be wrong. I mean, heck, for all I know, we see the movie, we might love Hulk in this movie and hate Punisher in the movie. I don't think that's likely, but anything's possible. I don't know. I'm just saying a good actor could get a bad script. I'm just saying. Even John Bernthal can just get a bad script. I just listed as like an unlikely scenario. I'm not saying that I think that's like the best possible, that's the most likely outcome. I think it's very unlikely. I'm just making a point that our predictions can be wrong. That's all I'm saying. Okay, guys, Bat and Sons will never make predictions again because all I will do is freak socks out.
My hair's about to blow up. Don't do that no more.
Okay, we'll move on. But now, Marvin Jones III will be Tombstone. And I'm saying introduced in 616 because we already saw Tombstone in Spider-Man, in Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. So I really like this actor because, just to clarify, Socks, from my understanding, I'm asking this because in Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, they did a lot of race swapping, so I can't say how it normally is in the comics from that show, but Tombstone is, like, before he has his accident, he is a black man, right?
In the comics, Tombstone's an albino.
Oh, well, exactly. Okay, so, but, like, just like this actor right here, actually. Marvin Jones III.
He is? He's an albino for real? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he is, like, his race, he is an African-American who is white because of his albinism.
Okay, I didn't know if he was or not. All right.
See, but the reason why I was asking that, though, Sox, is because that's one reason I think this actor is so perfect, just for the look aspect of it. But also, not just his looks, though. I've seen him in Black Lightning. I've seen him in all 4 seasons of Black Lightning, and I'm not normally big on trying to force CW actors in these movies. Like, Grant Gustin fans, please get out of here with your nonsense about him being in the Snyderverse. Go away with that. No, and no. Grant Gustin is an overrated knockoff. Get that shit out of here. But anyways, I've seen Marvin Jones in Black Lightning seasons 1 through 4, and he's a really good actor. I really like him. He did a great job as Tobias Whale in Black Lightning. Regardless of how I felt with some of the writing in the later seasons of that show, like that rushed series finale. That series finale was like so rushed, it was ridiculous. But Marvin Jones III did a really good job, Sox. He did a really good job, and I could totally see him playing Tombstone. I think he could bring a lot of his Tobias Whale in that movie, and it would be really good. So when I saw this news, I was so excited when I saw that. I'm like, they got an albino to play an albino. Good. But Tombstone's not born an albino, though. Doesn't he have an accident that makes him albino?
No, he's born that way.
Okay,
later on in the comics, he gets caught up in this. He's born an albino. That's what he is in the comics. But later on in the comics, he gets caught up in this weird blast of gas that gives him like super strength and makes him, strong, like almost as strong as Luke Cage type thing, But just to add something to him. They want an albino. In general, a black man in a white man's skin, that's an albino. There you go.
Yes, which is what Marvin Brand Jones is as well. But the reason why I asked that, because I think when I first saw Tombstone was actually in Spider-Man the Animated Series, because I remember his backstory with oh my God, I can't believe I blanked on his name. The publisher, the editor of the Daily Bugle. Not Jameson, but he ranks under Jameson. Robert, what's his name again, Sox?
Lonnie Lincoln.
Well, no, Lonnie Lincoln. Yeah, Tombstone, but the other guy. He's in Spider-Man the Animated Series, he was Lincoln's friend, but then he fell into Lincoln had a bad ending. Like, basically, there was a crime that the other guy got away with. I forget his name. He works for the Bugle, Sox.
He works for who?
The Bugle, the other guy. He likes both Spider-Man and Peter Parker. He's basically the editor.
Robbie Robertson.
Robbie Robertson, yeah.
Robertson.
And Lincoln were childhood friends in Spider-Man the Animated Series from the 90s. And then they both committed a crime. Right. Robbie Robertson got away. Lincoln didn't. And he had an accident at some
Right.
point, but he was also in that version, he was not born an albino. He had an accident that when he got his strength, he also became albino. Just like apparently what in Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, it seems like the same thing's going to happen. He obviously was not born an albino if you saw season 1. So that's why I was asking that. But
Right.
I guess, Sox, did you ever see this actor before?
No, I didn't even know he was an albino until you actually told me that.
Yeah. You can actually notice if you... Yeah, I'm not going to say that. At this day and age, anything can get you canceled. I'll tell you off stream. But I think, I've seen him, like I said, I've seen him in Black Lightning. He's a really good actor. And fun fact about me, when I went to Heroes and Villains Fan Fest Chicago one year he also was there. I didn't actually go up in line to meet him because I can only meet so many people. But when I went to the bathroom, I just happened to accidentally bump in. Well, I didn't quite bump into him. I didn't actually bump into him, but he was less than an inch away from me, and we exchanged eye contact briefly because I guess he was being rushed to his next thing. But I was like, oh shit, I did not expect to be encountering a celebrity at this exact spot right here. So, but okay.
Whoa. Cloak and Dagger? Yeah, I like that. Okay, that's cool. Good. Thank you, Stan.
But I guess what's your thoughts on Tombstone being in this movie? You may don't know the actor. What's your thought on Tombstone being in?
I'm fine with it, man, because Tombstone's a very underrated villain. He's basically another version of Kingpin. He's a mob boss. He's a gangster type character, and that's basically what he is. It's been like that all, as long as I remember. He's super strong. And you think the Kingpin just not fat. There you go.
Okay. So I think this is a really good casting. Again, getting an albino to play an albino is, again, that's a really good detail right there. But he's also, again, Marvin Jones is a good actor. I think he can do this role perfectly. So I'm excited. So this brings us to the question. Sox, are you hyped for Spider-Man Brand New Day?
Yes, I am. Of course I am. What kind of question is that? Yes, I am very hyped for this movie. Talking about my hype for this movie. You're talking to the Marvel guy here. Yes, I am hyped for this. I definitely want to see this movie. That's my boy. That's my all-time favorite character. In case you hadn't noticed, there is a Spider-Man shrine behind me, and I have a Spider-Man curtain on me wall, okay? So, duh.
So you can't really see this picture here because it's not that big, but I actually have a Spider-Man 2 picture, that picture behind me right here. Can't really see it from this angle. It's small, but Spider-Man 2.
A little tiny. Okay. Oh, all right.
So.
Tombstone, Scorpion, and Comedian. Oh! Is that the Sinister Six? That sounds like to me.
Yep. So, Qatar, we already covered Punisher being in this movie in a previous stream, so that's why I didn't really talk too much about it on this stream. But I'm excited for it because I think, even though I'm not really a big fan of post-Endgame MCU, they've had some winners, and I think one of them has been with Spider-Man. So I'm really excited for this. And John Bernthal's Spider-Man, as we previously discussed in a different stream, I'm really excited for. So I'm really excited for that. And Marvin Jones in this movie, Marvin Jones III, I should say, I'm also really excited for. I'm nervous about the Hulk being in it. I am nervous. I don't think you need that. I wish she wasn't in the movie. But I think overall, though, I am excited for this movie. And yes, it's going to beat Supergirl. There's no debate that this is going to beat Supergirl. So, yeah. And so I'm excited for this movie. I am really excited. I think it will do really well. And again, this is going to be another rarity, Sox, where you have the DC guy rooting for the Marvel film over the DC film. You got it with the Fantastic Four First Steps, and you're going to get it with this one too.
Well, why don't you just join the MCU and abandon all things DC altogether?
Because I still love DC overall, even if I don't like the current DC coming out right now. But
I'm joking. I get it. But I have a question though. Who is what's the actor's name playing Tombstone again? What did you say his name was again?
Marvin Jones III.
Okay. Is Marvin Jones the first or the second going to be in this film?
I don't think so. Like, it's
Well, where
like
are they
Marvin
at?
Jones. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming they're his dad and his granddad, so I don't know.
So
They
they're
may
being
not be.
excluded? So they're excluded. But how fair is that? That's not fair at all.
But they're not I mean, they're different people. I mean, that's like saying that if you cast me in a movie, you have to cast my dad in it too. I mean, that's like, so does Tom Holland's dad need to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day? Does his grandpa need to be in Brand New Day? I don't know if his grandparents are alive, so if they're not, I'm sorry, Tom Holland. But, I mean...
I just feel bad for anyone that's one or two that's being outcasted out of this film altogether.
Well, basically, all that means, though, Sox, is when someone's like the third, it just means that, like, his dad is named Marvin Jones II, and his grandpa is Marvin Jones.
Well, does the Marvin Jones the fourth going to show up later on down the line?
I mean, if he has a kid and he names him Marvin Jones the fourth, then I mean that's how that, like, all the third means is you're basically a generation down. It's just a generational thing.
So this is a generational bigotry for other generations before a third.
Well, no, I mean, the way it works. So, like, basically, if someone, you know how, like, some sons are named after their parents? Like, they might have the same name as their parents. They might be called Junior. But then if that parent names their kid the same first and last name, and normally I think it's the middle name too, they would call them the third.
So you will refer to your son as the third. Hello, third. How you doing, third? Did you
Only
go to
if they have...
third?
Only
I'm
if
just trying to understand it.
That's just how that works, Sock. Some people choose to have the same name generations down, and they just call themselves the third to differentiate themselves. I don't know. I don't know their whole family dynamic. I don't know if they
Did
like.
You know that George Floyd? Who's that famous boxer that fought Muhammad Ali back in the 70s? George. Can't think of his last name right now. George. Dang, I can't think of his name right now. He had 7 sons. He named all 7 sons the same name.
Yeah, that's.
So figure that one out.
I don't know why you would do that. But anyway, we're getting really off topic here. But
I know I was trolling you. You didn't even realize it.
Oh no, I know you were. I totally know you were. But
thank you, George Foreman. Yeah, George Foreman had 7 kids, and he named all 7 sons the same name. Look that up.
But anyways, overall, I'm really excited for this film. I think it's going to do really well in the box office. I think this one will be a winner. I know the MCU has not had a lot of winners lately, but people love Spider-Man. It's what Mikey Sutton said. Spider-Man and Batman are the 2 characters that cross each other's fandom in terms of popularity. Marvel fans love Batman, and DC fans love Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So, I think overall this is going to be a great film.
Unless you do a movie where they fight each other, then you'll have a war on your hands between DC and Marvel fans, because that'll be a civil war between me and Batman right then and there, for sure. So that's why I hope it never happens, because that's a good way to start a rumble, for sure, between comic fans. Yeah, ain't nothing worse than a comic nerds going at it about something like that. Oh, my God. I have that. Yes.
I mean, guys, I have my.
Have you ever watched The Big Bang? Well, if you ever watched The Big Bang Theory?
Yes, I've seen all the episodes, and
okay, you remember the episode where Penny asked who would win in a fight, and the old boy said, "You trying to start a rumble in here?" Yeah.
I don't remember all the episodes, though. That would be really interesting. Well, when this movie comes out, we'll see if Sin Havoc is right. But I guess Socks, overall, anything final you want to say on this before we wrap this up?
No, I'm hyped for it, man. You know, all jokes aside, you know, I'm hyped for it, you know, because I've been liking the Spider-Man films, as you know, ever since they came back out with them with Tom Holland. I've had no issue with them. I mean, slight issues, but that's just to be expected. But Tom Holland does a good job as Peter Parker and Spider-Man. So, and the last movie was brilliant. So I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, I am too. I think this will be a great movie. And wrapping up, coming up, so Socks, anything you want to introduce on your channel?
Well, I got the new computer going on here. There's been no problem so far. I did a live stream last night with Guitar and Curdy Ray and Zod, and the guys asked me, when are you going to start doing this more often? So they pretty much put me in a corner now that I opened my big mouth and said I got a computer and there's no problems with my new computer. So it's like, you need to start doing this more often. There's Socks. I'm like, oh, God, damn, my big mouth, right? So I'm thinking maybe I could do a stream every Saturday night. Maybe. You know, it's just like, I can't do it every day. It drives me crazy. But maybe I could do one every Saturday night. But if I could find something I could rant about, because knowing me, it's always going to be something I can rant about, whether it's pop culture or my co-hosts constantly singing musicals that drive me crazy. Or maybe I could do a stream with Christmas tree backgrounds, just drive him crazy.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. So anyway, thank you again for coming on, Socks. I really appreciate it.
Right, that's it. So, but I appreciate it, Qatar. Thank you for showing up last night. You and Zod and Curdy Ray, and it was fun.
And I'm sure you'll see me on for future streams on Socks' channel too.
Yeah,
I just wasn't feeling well yesterday.
I'm thinking I could probably do that again. What was that? I missed it. Say it again.
I said and you'll see me on future Socks' streams too. I wasn't feeling well last night, or else I probably would have joined that stream. But check out Socks' channel, guys. There's a lot of great stuff coming up.
Sorry. And
any final thoughts you want to say about Spider-Man or Daredevil?
No, not till we see more stuff coming out down the line, which we'll see more stuff being posted, I'm sure, and then the trailers will come out eventually, and that's when we'll really be getting hyped up for sure.
And as for me, I'm excited for Daredevil Born Again Season 2. I'm excited for Spider-Man Brand New Day. And coming up on this channel is that you're going to see, with this whole acquisition of WB. I'm sorry, and Sin Havoc, I'm saying acquisition. I'm not saying merger, because I know you insist those are two different things. But anyways, I'll be covering a lot of that, because there's a lot of news coming up. Like now Zack Snyder releasing yet another photo indicating that how moved on he is from DC. So be on the lookout for that. And thank you again, Socks, for coming on this channel. I really appreciate it. And guys, if you like this stream, please like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell for more unique takes, interesting thoughts, and great banter such as this. And any final words, Socks?
Ta-ta for now.
Have a marvelous day.